This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Children affected by cancer have had a whale of a time with their families on Ovation of the Seas. The annual day of activities is organised by the cruise line and Camp Quality.
A cruisy way to spend the day. Around 20 children and their families getting the chance to participate in a range of activities on the cruise ship Ovation of the Seas, docked at Port Chalmers late last week. The action-packed day is an initiative between Royal Caribbean Cruises and Camp Quality.
Camp Quality is a charity organisation that revolves around giving children living with cancer an experience of fun, hope and happiness. We run camps throughout New Zealand.
Activities included rock climbing, swimming and a turn on the North Star gondola, which takes passengers 92 metres above sea level and gives them panoramic views of the ocean. For parents of sufferers, survivors and their siblings, it's a chance to take their minds off the months and sometimes years of treatment.
A lot of the kids with us today have been in treatment recently or over the last few years, and my daughter Darcy was diagnosed 3 years ago with Burkitt's lymphoma when she was 3 years old and is currently in remission at the moment.
Royal Caribbean Cruises New Zealand General Manager Mark Kinchley says they're all about family cruises.
One thing that is really refreshing for us as Royal Caribbean staff is it's a great way for us to give back, but it's also, it energises us because we are inspired by the children who show such courage and such fortitude to be so sick, to have come through the end, some of them still taking treatment, and yet when they're on board our ship and they've got those incredible, fantastic smiles.
Camp Quality is fully funded by donations and grants, and judging by the look on the faces of these kids, it's clearly money well spent in Dunedin, the South today.
The man who vandalised Dunedin's harbour mouth molars says he will apologise for damaging the public art installation, but doesn't regret his actions. In a video posted on his own Facebook page, Gary Hughes uses a hammer and chisel to chip off a hand-sized piece of Oamaru stone from one of the 6 large stone molars overlooking Otago Harbour. He says the video was only originally meant for his friends, but was shared by other people. It's now been viewed more than 10,000 times. Speaking to the Otago Daily Times, Hughes says he's always hated the molars and they annoy him every day when he drives past. He says police have contacted him and asked him to take the video down and contact the council to apologise, which he says he'll do. Hopefully this next piece of public art won't incite such a destructive reaction. An Invercargill artist has finally completed a giant mural on the side of a hotel in the town CBD. The unveiling was the first time he's seen the work in its entirety after labouring on it under the confines of covered scaffolding.
Possibly the tallest artwork in the country. Invercargill artist Danny Owen posing for a photo opportunity with Mia Judson, the 2-year-old who modelled for his 33-metre high mural on the side of the Kelvin Hotel. Commissioned by the ILT, it heralds changes for the city.
I think it does portray the new look of Invercargill, where we've got vibrancy, youth, a good ethnic balance, which is just great, and certainly a positivity towards the new city upgrade and the future.
Owen agrees, saying he's pleased to be involved in the start of a new era for Invercargill.
I think there is big changes coming in Invercargill and positive changes, so I feel blessed to be maybe one of those small steps in that.
However, Owen did have to overcome a fear of heights to complete the mural.
I'm scared on a 6-metre lift painting a mural swaying around, but when you're 30 metres up fixed to a wall, I actually felt the safest I ever had, you know, until I looked down.
Dennis is very pleased at how the murals turned out.
We looked at it this morning and we looked, wow, and it's got a little bit of wow factor. It's something that we can discover in our own time, and I'm sure that it'll be the start of other things. So good luck to you and thank you very much for the work. It's spectacular.
The mural was designed to represent the changing face of the city and its growing diversity. In Invercargill, for the South Today.
A food fight reportedly turned violent in Queenstown in the early hours yesterday morning. A 27-year-old English man was given a pre-charge warning after a fight allegedly broke out at the Night and Day store on Camp Street at around 3 a.m. Police say a member of a group tried to throw a piece of food at their friend, but it ended up hitting a woman standing nearby instead. An argument then broke out between the two groups, including the woman's partner, and she was allegedly assaulted during the altercation. She barely got an hour's notice, but Wanaka snowboarder Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott just topped an Olympic medal. The 17-year-old outdid the bronze medal she picked up at the Winter Olympics last year by becoming New Zealand's first snowboarding X Games winner yesterday, when she came from nowhere to win the slopestyle event. Sadowski-Sinnott started off at the beginning of the week as a second reserve in the slopestyle, but a withdrawal barely an hour before the competition started gave the Wanaka athlete a chance at glory at Aspen. She scored 90 points from a possible 100 on her first run and scored 91 on her last to hold off the world-class field. An Otago Daily Times Class Act recipient last year, Sadowski-Sinnott says the invite-only X Games is the best of the best for snowboarders. Late last week, she claimed the snowboard Big Air silver medal. Her next event is the World Championships in Utah. Still to come on the south today. Safety barriers are installed at Dunedin's Tunnel Beach, and Oamaru hosts the town's first dog expo.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Need to rent an FPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event. Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Dunedin Police and campus watch staff apprehended a naked man in the middle of Otago University this morning after he allegedly broke into a student flat in Ethel Benjamin Place. Sergeant John Hedges says police were called by the occupants of the flat who had locked themselves in a room. He says 2 people were left quite distressed after they discovered a naked man was rummaging through their house. The man cut himself in the process and then ran off to the university, where he was caught by police and campus watch, who put cordons in place. Signs and barriers have been erected at Tunnel Beach in Dunedin, warning walkers of cliff dangers at the popular walking sites. The Department of Conservation have completed the installation of a 120-metre barrier and 10 warning signs at the area. Dock Recreation and Historic Ranger Richard Seed says another sign will be installed in front of the tunnel entrance in the next few months. He says the measures are in reaction to a noticeable increase in visitor numbers since 2017. A German tourist was rescued after slipping down a cliff face at the attraction last November. About 50 poochers dragged their owners to the Oamaru Showgrounds yesterday for the town's first dog expo. The event was organised by the North Otago Dog Training Club in association with the local council. The aim of the event was to boost club membership and promote responsible dog handling. It was originally scheduled to be held back in November, but was postponed after heavy rain. The day included a water retrieve activity, fancy dress competition, a best lead class and agility demonstrations. Council staff were on hand to answer questions about bylaws and to give advice on dog registration. North Otago Dog Training Club President Alan Booth says part of responsible ownership is ensuring dogs are well trained. Dunedin resident David Miller is suffering from both increasing dementia and Parkinson's. Last year, after a decade of living with dementia, it was decided he would be happier in residential care. David and his wife Susan gave a candid interview to ODT reporter Mike Houlihan on what it's like to live with dementia.
After we'd been married about 5 years, we moved to Sydney. David got a job there. And then that's where our children were born, so they're still there, yeah, which is a pity. So David had a job. He was assistant director at the New South Wales Art Gallery. Yep. And then after a while he left there and ran his own business in Sydney, and he in art history and the history of music. So he must have done that for about 30 years, I think. Yeah.
It didn't take long.
David was diagnosed with vascular dementia in beginning of 2008, I think it was, and probably had it a little wee while before then too. You said to me there's something wrong with my brain. I didn't know what you were talking about. But in retrospect I realised...
What she was saying was, I've got a nutter for a
husband. No,
husband.
I never thought that. No. Yeah.
It's all right, sir. It's all right, sir. Forget it.
David just said he was looking for things all the time. You know, he couldn't find things, and you couldn't ever remember people's names. I mean, a lot of us. I mean, everyone's a bit like that. But whenever we had people around, you'd always push me in front, see if I could remember them, and. Just in retrospect, when we look back, we could see the signs. Even to go to a good movie was a trek. There's no parking around. I'd drop David off, and then I'd go and park the car about 1 kilometre away, and then I'd run like hell because I wasn't quite sure if he'd still be there. And actually, I lost him 12 times in Sydney, sometimes in the bush, which was awful. And one day he got on a train that was on its way to Newcastle, but fortunately stopped and came back the other way. So we also found
She's very honest in the way she talks.
As soon as we got, or even before we got here, I joined Alzheimer's Otago, and the social workers there have been absolutely brilliant. And at one stage, getting respite in Dunedin for dementia is very difficult. And for a short time, David went to Balclutha, and the only way I felt I could keep him sane was to hire someone to take him out every day, which we did, and we got this absolutely fabulous woman who did it. And now David still gets taken out, and he's got another fabulous lady that takes him out, and on Mondays and Fridays. And in Sydney, I could never find that sort of thing. The only people that they had came from big kind of firms, and so you got a different person every time. They thought they came to do the housework when really they were coming to keep David company. It was very, very difficult to get the sort of help, that sort of help that we've had in Dunedin has been. The memory clinic doctor said to us to keep David, or said to me to try and keep David working as long as possible. So we did keep him working for 5 years. David always put out the washing, or did heaps of housework all through our married life, and heaps of cooking.
I slightly got desperate because Susie wanted to cook proper meals. Oh God, you know, I had to cook. And then
well, David did everything like that for as long as he could.
Yep.
And then it's amazing, I did a thing at one stage for the council about what it's like if you've got dementia to make a cup of tea. And it's just amazing the number of decisions you actually make to do that.
After the break on the South Today, we check out the 65th annual Dunedin to Brighton Veteran Car Rally, and we take a look at tomorrow's weather.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren. His Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Need to rent an FPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. The wet weather didn't put a dampener on the 65th annual Dunedin to Brighton Veteran Car Rally on Saturday. Around 30 vehicles converged on the Octagon. The rally then took them along Kaikoura Valley Road, through Green Island and Waldronville, eventually finishing up at the Brighton Domain. The heavy rain didn't deter the car enthusiasts, with many donning period costumes to enjoy driving their treasures. The Brighton Rally is the oldest continuous veteran rally in the Southern Hemisphere. Veteran cars are classified as those built before 1919. Dunedin continued to showcase its diversity of culture yesterday with the local Filipino community celebrating their Catholic Sinulog festival. Those at the Sunday Mass at the St. Patrick's Basilica in South Dunedin were treated to a Filipino procession. The celebrations were to honour the Santo Niño, which is a religious relic icon of Jesus as a child. Performers from across Dunedin and Balclutha took part in the celebrations. The Sinulog Festival traditionally includes participants dressed in bright coloured costumes, dancing to the rhythm of drums, trumpet and native gongs. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry.
Sophie, how are you?
Good.
Dunedin City Council is adding 41 full-time equivalent positions due to Dunedin residents asking more of their City Council, according to Mayor Dave Cole. We have a story on the bus hub. The costs are spiralling,
right,
so
yeah.
more on that. And the search for two fishermen who were swept off rocks at Slope Point in Southland continues. We'll have the latest developments on that in the paper tomorrow. They've pulled out some of the searches. High swells, heavy swells have meant the boats have gone off that. So we keep our fingers crossed. Hot weather predicted for Central Otago this week, and
Yes.
of course it's already hitting the North Island and the top of the south. But a special fire crew will be stationed in Clyde to be aware of that on Thursday. And international visitors continue to boost tourism in the south with increasing numbers of arrivals and guest nights spread over November and December in the latest figures. And sports editor Stephen Hepburn looks at how the south is missing out on international cricket matches, particularly the University Oval.
Right. Well, thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather. Situation. We're all in for a warm week ahead with moderate northwesterly airflow at times, but mostly sunny skies and hot temperatures inland. To the southern towns, Balclutha, Catlins and Lumsden can expect fine weather with light northwesterlies and highs of 28 or 29. Similar for Gore, but slightly lower on 26 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes, Alexandra and Wanaka are all in for fine weather with light winds and highs of 31. Slightly less hot in Queenstown at 28 degrees. Te Anau can expect moderate northwesterlies, some clouds and a high of 24. To the northern towns, along the coast, Oamaru and Timaru are in for fine weather with moderate northeasterlies and a high of 25. Be prepared for the heat inland at Omarama and Twizel with fine weather and light winds, highs of 31 and 32. In Dunedin tonight, there will be some cloud and maybe mist with light winds and an overnight low of 16. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with some high cloud later and warm temperatures. Moderate northerly winds, 25 and 17. Similar weather on Wednesday with 28 and 15. Invercargill will see clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 14. Fine tomorrow with sunny periods and some cloud at times with moderate west to northwest winds, 24 and 15. Similar for Wednesday with 24 and 14 degrees. That's all for our news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, channel39.co.nz and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.